Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. We have an update in the Jolissa Fuentes case. So Jolissa Fuentes was 22 years old, missing out of Selma, California. She was last seen at an AM/PM gas station around 4 o'clock in the morning, and she left this gas station and would later call her sister, who missed her call, and family and friends had not heard or seen from her since. Jolissa's family was frustrated at first because she had gone missing on August 8th and the case wasn't getting much attention. So they reached out through social media, and Adventures with Purpose actually went out to help. Although Adventures with Purpose did not find her, they did clear a lot of the bodies of water. Jolissa was found sometime Monday evening, and the press conference was held today, so I am going to play that for you at the end. Officials said the discovery came after Selma Police Chief Rudy Alcaraz found evidence that Fuentes' car had gone off the roadway in the area of Trimmer Springs and Maxon Road near Pine Flat Lake. So this chief actually went out and found this all on his own. Now, Jolissa's father spoke at this press conference, and I'm just going to warn you, it is very emotional. Now, authorities believe this is a single car crash, and the crash is still under investigation, but they believe that most likely Jolissa was just tired after being up throughout the entire night.
You want to start off, Sheriff? Or you...
I'll introduce you.
I'll
introduce you.
It's your house.
Oh, all right. It's your case.
Yes.
But it ended up being all of ours. Well, thank you for being here today. We're here to announce that the missing person, Jolissa Fuentes, has been found in rural eastern Fresno County. This particular missing person case belongs to Selma Police Department. Up here on the dais, I have members of Jolissa's family as well as Chief Rudy Alcaraz of the Selma Police Department. And we'll start off with Chief Alcaraz talking about the case, recapping where it started, where it's gone since Jolissa went missing in August of this year. Chief Alcaraz.
Thank you, Sheriff. Good morning. Thank you all for being in attendance today. I first want to thank the Sheriff, the Sheriff's Department, Fresno Police Department, the FBI, Reedley Police Department, the Sanger Police Department, and all the numerous agencies throughout this nation that helped us follow up on tips and leads as we navigated this investigation. So just to recap, Ms. Fuentes was reported as a missing person on August 8, 2022. Her family was extremely concerned that she did not come back home. She wasn't answering her phone, which was very uncommon for Ms. Fuentes. Once they reported this case, that Ms. Fuentes was missing on August 8th, we began to write search warrants for cell phones, look at social media platforms in an attempt to locate Ms. Fuentes. After numerous search warrants and reviewing data over the last few months, we really did not see a lot of activity beyond the August 8th date. That being said, I would like to thank, and I absolutely have to acknowledge the great work that the Fuentes family did in getting information out about their daughter across this nation. It was absolutely phenomenal, their reach and their ability to get that kind of information out in such a short amount of time. The numerous people, citizens that volunteered of their own time with their own resources to go out and search for Ms. Fuentes was huge. Very impressive how the community came together to try to bring Ms. Fuentes home. With that, we again didn't have much digital data to go on beyond August 8th, and we're following up on leads again across this nation, none to the success that we were looking for. Yesterday, we went back out to the Pine Flat area and were able to locate evidence that Ms. Fuentes was involved in a traffic collision, and her vehicle went off the side of the road, up off of Trimmer Springs Road, what I would describe as the northern part of Pine Flat Lake. At that time, we were able to come back and reconnect with the sheriff's office and the search and rescue team, who then went out last night till at least midnight and rappelled down a 250-foot cliff to recover Ms. Fuentes. So, again, this was a joint effort by all of our law enforcement agencies. Our investigators did a phenomenal job of researching tons and tons of digital data, trying to locate Ms. Fuentes, and we wish that there was, we had better news and that it wasn't such a sad time right now, if you will. I wish that we could have brought Ms. Fuentes home healthy. However, it appears that she passed during this collision. No, this would be a single car accident.
This was an area that was searched a lot, that Pine Flat Lake area. Why wasn't it found previously?
So it was searched, and again, hats off to search and rescue. If you've been up there and you've walked and actually gotten out of your vehicle and looked at this area, you're talking about a vast amount of geography with heavy foliage, cliffs. Again, search and rescue was down 200 feet, and we couldn't even see them anymore, even with their flashlights. So they're down 200 feet, then they go down another cliff beyond that. There really were no remnants of the vehicle on the side of that hill where she was located. It was just a perfect storm. Someone couldn't try to hide a car better than that. It's just very unfortunate. And once we get pictures of that area, it'll be very evident how something can get lost up there very easily.
Do you feel like you hit a rock or something? Just misguided your car?
You know, I would imagine that, you know, to speculate, I think she'd been up all night and just fell asleep and was tired and at the wrong place of the road in the bend, and it's just an unfortunate accident.
You know, I will say that the Highway Patrol is investigating the actual traffic accident, so they're recovering the car as well as investigating the area to see if they can come up with any additional information about the cause of the actual traffic accident. And I want to say something here. Chief Alcaraz is a very humble man, and he won't say this about himself. He personally found the scene of the accident. He went up to the mountains yesterday on his own, researching areas that had already been searched, and on his own, he actually found the scene of the accident. I'll say, being a woman of faith, I think he was divinely channeled to that area. Along with his police instinct, I think that it was meant to be that he be the one, because he's worked so very hard on this case for so long with the family, that he has literally put an end to the search for Jolissa. So hats off to Chief Alcaraz. The city of Selma is very lucky to have him. His personal dedication, his police experience, and paying attention to his gut was really important on putting an end to this case. So with that, the family, I'll introduce Jolissa's father, Joe. He's here to speak on the behalf of the family.
Yes, my name is Joey Fuentes. I'm the father of Jolissa Fuentes. And first of all, I want to thank the community, not just the community, this whole nation. The cries and the war pain of my wife and my sisters and my family was heard around this whole country. They didn't stop. They were persistent. And when this first happened with my daughter, I talked to Chief Alcaraz. I told him, man to man, I'm talking to you. do you have a daughter? Do you have children? He told me, yes, I do, Joey. I go, I want you to go after my daughter like she's your daughter, Chief. And you know what he told me? He goes, I promise you, Joey. I promise you, I will find your daughter. At this time, we were hearing all kinds of stories. She was kidnapped, the cartels had her. There was so much stories out there, but he promised me he was going to find my daughter. He didn't tell me, he couldn't tell me when, but he was going to find her. And he was the one that found her. He was a man of his word. And he's a young chief in the city of Salmo. He says he wants to change things around here. You know, it's a small town, but he wants to make a change for the better. And I thank God, he's my hero. He is my hero, you know, and I've known him for a while. But he was persistent, and his persistence paid off. And not only that, I know it was his love, and he went after her like it was hers. And once again, though, I thank all the community. I even thank the media. You kept my daughter out there. You kept her alive. We were her voice. And I'll forever love you guys for that. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
So a little bit more about the area. That area is a good 60 miles, I would say, east of the city of Fresno, back up on Trimmer Springs Road. As you know, the Pine Flat kind of runs east and west, but the rivers come in at the very east end of Pine Flat Lake, and it's right there where the near Maxon Road and Trimmer Springs, where the vehicle was found. And the chief was right. It was, when we got the call, search and rescue, they used a total of 475 feet of rope to rappel. Not only did they have the initial ledge that they had to rappel off of, but they came to another ledge at the end of that. They had to rappel again down to where the vehicle was. You could not see it from the lake. You could not see it from the road. Chief Alcaraz found what he thought was the place where the car went off. He couldn't see the car from where he was, but we did send out some drones and discover it in very close range with the drone, able to see the vehicle. So very difficult terrain. However, we were able to bring Jolissa home last night. Now the coroner's office will conduct the positive identification, but there's little doubt that we have found her. So with that, are there any questions?
You said you went up there again yesterday. So
Chief, come on over.
What did you see? How did you pinpoint where she went down? You know, our staff, we put an enormous amount of pressure on them. Their caseloads are huge. Search and rescue. I don't even know how many cases they've had this year. I've got a fresh set of eyes, a lot of police instinct, and a little bit of faith and prayer, and I just got lucky. It would be highly likely that it would be masked with the foliage and the terrain, and the last area that I checked was the perfect area, and that's where we found Ms. Fuentes. So I just got lucky.
Was this at a bend in the road?
It is exactly at a bend in the road, at one of the probably higher points of the roadway that traverses through Pine Flat.
Do we think that the collision happened that Sunday night, that early Monday morning?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And again, the CHP will be working with the family to compile more data from the vehicle itself as the Highway Patrol starts that portion of the investigation.
And is this close to where the cell phone tower is, where the pings were?
You know, I don't have exact coordinates right now, so we'll again, like any case, we'll sit down, we'll debrief it, and determine, you know, how we deciphered the data.
Do investigators know why she was in that area at that time?
It's my understanding that Ms. Fuentes really enjoyed the Pine Flat area, and anybody that goes up there, it's a beautiful place. It really is. It's gorgeous. And I think my best bet, she just went for a drive, kind of like what I did yesterday. Just wanted to go for a drive.
Chief, when you went to this last spot,
What did you find? Any evidence on the side? Did you see anything when you were looking that might have put you to look down?
Just it's a obviously the whole area is dried up right now. There's a lot of heavy brush. There were some tire tracks that you really can't see until you get out of the car and actually walk and get on. You're actually on top of it, and that's kind of what keyed me off and started to spend more time in that area.
They looked like they just went to nowhere.
Yeah. Yes. And again, the Highway Patrol is going to have a much more impressive explanation, much more detailed as they conduct their investigation.
Do we believe drugs or alcohol might play a factor in this crash?
It would be improper for me to speculate. Yeah.
Sheriff, I see the emotion on your face. I mean, it's good to have this closure, but that's a very heartbreaking update. Can you speak to that?
Whenever law enforcement get these kind of reports, we're always hopeful. We're always hopeful, always optimistic that we can bring a family member back to a family whole and intact, and it's a good ending. But it's not always, it didn't always happen. And it's heartbreaking, not only for the family when you see their pain, but it's heartbreaking for law enforcement when we work so very hard to try and have the best possible outcome. We can only imagine what it feels like for the family. We know what it feels like for us when we try so hard. We train for this, to be into difficult places and difficult terrain, but still, it's heartbreaking that we cannot always have a happy ending to these stories. But what we are able to do is at least have an ending for the family, so that they know as much as we can possibly gather information for them to know that we tried our best. And again, kudos to Chief Alcaraz, because it was above and beyond for him to have that feeling of needing to take a drive yesterday and ending up where he did, and ending up calling us saying, I can't see it, but it could be here. And he was right. We're grateful that we were able to bring, at least to this point, to the family that we have Jolissa, and they're going to be able to have her where they want her now, at peace.
Question for the chief. Could you talk about your like day yesterday, how it started, why you felt the need to drive all the way and that far? What was it?
I think the sheriff said it best: divine intervention. You got to be in our business and deal with the things we deal with. You got to be a person of faith. It takes faith to do great things, but just faith. Divine intervention is probably my best explanation. And if you have no more questions.
Okay. All right, thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.